مبرورا وذنبا مغفورا وسعيا مشكورا لبيك الله.
Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to an episode of Healthy Hajj, a program where we try to give some medical advice and tips for our brothers and sisters performing pilgrimage and hoping that they would be going back safe home, inshallah, after performing the rituals, and nobody would have any medical problems, inshallah. With us today is Dr. Muhammad Al-Marsafi, consultant of dermatology and andrology. Dr. Muhammad, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Welcome, Dr. Ahmed. Thank you for generous hosting. My wishes for blessed pilgrimage and forgiven sin for everyone.
Inshallah, inshallah. Of course, one of the major problems that we are exposed to during performing Hajj, especially that there's a very close contact between too many of the pilgrims, each coming from a different country or a different region, are the skin conditions that we might acquire from there. What are the major risks and skin conditions that could affect pilgrims at this time?
I think the most important one is heat and sun exposure that makes the skin become inflamed and red, seen in exposed parts of the bodies.
Yes.
Sometimes severe burns, water bubbles appear on skin, and incidence increased in some more the others, of course, especially white people and those coming from countries with temperate climate.
Okay, and how could we prevent the sunburns or the incidence of sunburn?
Good question. Firstly, you should stay away from the sun and investigate the shades as much as you can. Second, stay inside the residence unless necessary in the rest of the rituals. Third, use white umbrella, apply sunscreen, especially SPF 30 plus or more. And you have to make sure that 20 minutes gap before going out is achieved.
Yes.
At residence, have frequent cold baths and apply gentle moisturizers, especially gel forms will be very beneficial. And it's very important to say when there are fluid-filled bubbles, do not pierce them, but use potassium permanganate compressors till it becomes dry. And use simple painkillers. Protect sunburned skin areas during recovery by wearing clothing that cover the affected area when you are outside.
What other hazards can we have?
Hyperhidrosis, of course.
Yes. What is
Sweat
hyperhidrosis?
increase due
Yes.
to the high air temperature and high humidity in most hours of the day and night, which leads to lack of urine excursion and feeling of thirst. And the steps must be taken into consideration. We advise to avoid hard effort,
Yes.
especially during the hot hours of the day. Frequent water intake and drinking of fresh juice is very beneficial, together with eating pickles.
Are there any other conditions that you can tell us about?
Yes, of course. Skin condition like inflammation and exfoliation, the folds and curves of the body, especially in people who are overweight or obese, under the armpit, breasts, especially in women, upper thighs, and sensitive areas in men. In these cases, the skin becomes inflamed, red in color. Each burning sensation is very characteristic. Usage of talc powder is so important in this area before going out of the residence. For prevention, maintain personal hygiene and stay as much as you can in well-ventilated area. Very important point to say that pilgrim can wear the Hajj pants allowed by Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia that cover the lower abdomen up to the lower thighs.
Yes.
It can be worn under ihram clothing and prevents, of course, the friction between the thighs, genitals, and the surrounding areas. Also, if the disease is worsened, more severe symptoms will appear, such discharge accompanied by pain and itching. Here I should say that potassium permanganates and the anti-inflammatory creams like LKM can be used with simple painkiller. Also, it can happen in food. So, we advise to use antifungal powder for food and in between toes in the morning, and at the night, use emollient foot cream before sleep.
Okay. How about infection? Because being very close to each other might increase the incidence of spreading infection between one person to the other. What are the most commonly spread infections during this time of the year?
Good question, Jim. Tenias. Tenias is a fungal infection. The most common fungal infection is Taenia cruris. The patient has severe itching between his thighs. The disease is spread by wearing the clothes or towels of infected person. If the person is infected, we advise to avoid overcrowding in hot weather that he may infect others. And for prevention, we recommend to avoid using other people's clothes and towels, washing clothes and boiling with boiling water, then ironing them to kill the fungus. Of course, we have to avoid scratching the affected area with shower spoon and consulting doctor to take the necessary measures. I'll speak about the other form, Taenia versicolor. I think you can have a photo of them.
Yes.
For the audience.
Yes, we
and
have.
For
yes.
prevention of this, we recommend to keep your skin dry and applying antifungal ointment to the affected areas on doctor's prescription, of course. And lastly, Taenia cercinata. It's an infectious disease that spread through touch and use the patient personal belongings.
Yes.
Overcrowding at the time of Hajj causes the disease to spread widely. So, what we advise to avoid that?
Yes, please.
Choose good quality of ihram clothing. Maintain cleanliness of the body constantly. Stay away from carrying personal items such as towels. Avoid crowded places as much as possible. Be careful not to mix with others in confined spaces. And finally, self-examination of the skin periodically for the early detection of the disease.
Dr. Marsafi, do you have any advice for the pilgrims while preparing their bags, what to take with them to try to decrease the incidence of getting skin disease?
Excellent question. Hajj medical bag aid should include potassium permanganate, zinc oxide ointment, talc powder, antihistaminic tablet, alfentern, LKM, Panadol, umbrella is very important, sunblock as we advised before, antifungal soap, and very, very important, they should include disposable toilet seat and Dettol spray. It's very vital.
Exactly, yes. This is very important because it might save a lot of hassle afterwards. Dr. Mohammed Marsafi, consultant of dermatology and andrology, thank you very much for the advice you gave us, and thank you very much for coming today and joining us. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm sure we all had very valuable advice from Dr. Mohammed. Thank you very much for joining us today. Please do not forget to make dua for all of us here in Huda TV while you're performing Hajj. Stay safe, go back home, inshallah, with the best of health. Until we meet you next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
حجا مبرورا وذنبا مغفورا وسعيا مشكورا لبيك الله